Thank you for joining us on Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson right here on Grander Radio and Achickwitbeatz.com. We're excited about the show that we have for you today. It includes an interview with David Gutter and 5 Eternal Minutes with James Eternal.
You know what? I mean, things are flowing. It is just great. I mean, the season is changing, and so our show is upgrading, and we're just happy for that to be happening.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, you know, the usual thing that we do is bring you music news and beats and dope interviews, and since it is Halloween, you know, I decided that I'll share some of my more bone-chilling horror soundtrack-inspired beats to you today.
Okay, we can't wait for that.
All right, let's go. for joining us on Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz Breezy Gipson. We have the one, the only prolific MC, Dave Gutter, in the building with us. How you doing?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
Great. Yeah, we're just excited to have you with us. So why don't you let the listeners know a little bit about you? Who is Dave Gutter? What drives you? What got you into music and all that good stuff?
Man, I'm a regular cat. You know, I'm not nobody, but I'm not nobody either. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Yeah.
You know, I rap. I got a love-hate relationship with music. Like, I rap, but I don't rap. I come back and forth. You know, regular cat, man, out here in Arizona sweating.
What has that been like for you? So, like, personally, just so listeners know, I've known Dave Gutter for a while, but, you know, originally in Michigan, life is a little bit different, but how has Arizona been treating you musically? It's
been like it's been good, to be honest with you, man. It's the scenery. It's the mountains and all that kind of shit, but we don't got back home.
Mm-hmm.
It make you think about things different. Like, people from here, they just used to. You know, it's a mountain. I'm like, no, that's a mountain. Are you kidding me? That's insane. I'm from Michigan, man.
Right. That's so funny. I was just telling Breezy, like, everything here is flat. Like, yeah, you don't get that kind of inspiration here. So that's so awesome.
It is. And, and, you know, and the whole no winter thing, that helps.
Yeah, so, give us a little bit of background. Like, what'd you start with music and, you know, what inspires you?
Man, I used to, you know, I've been in the rap for a minute, like I study it. You know what I mean? I look at this, like, it's like, you know how, like Wu-Tang talk about, like, the Kung Fu styles and all that kind of shit. That's kind of how I look at it, like, techniques and styles and where to place your words and double syllables and all that. So originally, people wanted me to rap, and I was kind of into it, and I tell the story, and this is no bullshit. I woke up in the middle of the night, BET was playing Nas, It Ain't Hard to Tell. This is no bullshit. I sat there, and I watched that song. I didn't know who this dude was. I didn't know about the hype. I didn't know 5 mics. I didn't know none of that. I just see this dude on that beat, and I said, I'm a rap too.
Wow. See, I didn't know that. That's awesome. But I remember how the first time I saw Nas too, I'm like, what is this? This is amazing.
But he was so regular, but he was so awesome.
Right. Yeah, definitely impactful. So, you know, these days, everybody's like looking for a record deal and all that. But since you've been doing this underground for a while, what have you learned from the industry that you've been able to use in your independent artistry?
Well, see, the thing is, the way the technology is and the way you can, like, just touch people, it's just like you are a distributor. You know, even when it wasn't like that, you could still touch the people. But nowadays, I'm talking about, you can really touch the people. You can make a song in the video and have it on YouTube in 3 days.
Yeah.
Like, that's a different vibe. So now instead of focusing on what the industry wants or don't want, just make the shit that you want to make.
Right.
And get it out there. You know what I mean? Because there's always 10 people like you in this world. Nobody's that unique. There's at least 10 people that's just like you. Right. I promise you.
Yep. And all you got to do is just find your people. Like, make the music you want to make, and then find your people. Yeah.
And they will find the rest of them. You'll find, 10 people over here and 10 people in Nebraska, 10 people in Russia. You got to follow them.
Right. Absolutely. Breezy, I know you got some questions.
Well, you know, when you come out the box, you know, with the you know, you got a love-hate relationship with music. See, that's just the relaxation skill right there. Okay? And so there's a lot of people that, you know, once they hear that, you know, it puts them in a certain mellow out personality, you know, and so then they want to hear who you are. They want to hear more from you. They want to see, you know, and it's like, okay, let's push the start button. And so, that love-hate relationship with music, that's a strong thing right there.
It really is, man, because at one point, man, I was on it. The thing was, me and my people, man, I never invested that much into making music, but we was always making music. So therefore, you got songs, but them ain't mixed down. Them ain't mixed down. It only sound good to the people that made it. That's facts, and it's fine. It's the truth.
Right.
You can make the Picasso, but if it's a screen over it, you just like like I see what you're doing, but you know what I mean. Like I ain't gonna put it up on my wall.
Right.
Yeah, and that's kind of like I don't know. After a while, that get at me because like I don't even want to sound too cocky because I know I can do that sometimes, but I really do put blood, sweat, and tears in every flow. I have no wasted verses. Everything I've ever recorded, I meant it like a tattoo.
Yeah.
And after a while, you tattooing up your body and don't nobody care. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm bleeding over here, and they're like, oh, look at that, it's all right.
Wow, that's a crazy analogy. Yeah. I need the rewind effect right there. Just play it again so that way the listeners, like, man, that's crazy. But yeah, like you said, so even knowing that you can put all this energy into something, you're not really focused on how other people relate to it. As far as, maybe not having it mixed down, but you still want people to just hear what you're saying. What drives you when you're actually creating to, compose the lyrics that you compose? Oh,
it's like an engineering thing at this point. Like when I be putting these rhymes together, I'm thinking about the rhythm I want to say it in, and then I'm thinking like where I want to put this, like where I need, like it's like like art. I'm just sitting here like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Clouds over here. And the trees right here, I'm just trying to put it together. It's like you know what I mean? Like some kind of mathematical formula. And then when I get it all together, boom.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm ready. I'm ready. That's why I like if I go to record, I'm not one of them type of cats. I don't take 3 or 4 times or 5 times. I got this down before I even go here. Before I put my money down, this is done. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, and just so the people know. So, I've had Dave Gutter featured on a couple tracks on the first actual rap album that I released. And those are the ones that typically get picked when DJs put it in their mixes. So, yeah, he's serious about what he's saying.
That I am. But, yeah, it's, I take this music, I take it really seriously. Like, I really do. Like, this is like, but it was so hard. It was like, so when I let the go, for like damn near 7 years, I forgot about it. I was done with it, but it was something internally that was missing, and I didn't want to believe that it was me. I was like, it's not. It's something else. It's something else. You know what I mean? It's financial. It's spiritual. It's not music. And then my girlfriend, who I'm with currently, she just kind of like put the bug in my ear. Like, you want to rap? Rap. You should rap. Why don't you rap? And then around that same time, Anagram came out with that, he needed that feature, and it was just like, it's like heroin. Once I injected it, now I'm back.
Right.
Okay, well, share with our listeners a bit about, that gap. When you speak in terms of 7 years, share with them about the difference in the equipment world, the equipment capability world, from when you left to when you came back, and you were like, really? We can do this. So, my God, it's almost night and day. It's like the equipment changes, just like, but people put this in perspective. Phones aren't the only things that change every year. Everything changes every year. So the same way a phone is the same way it was 7 years ago, everything with a microchip in it is 5 times better and easier and cheaper. Like where I record at now, dude, buddy got a screen in the booth so you could just see your vocals. 7 years ago, people weren't doing that kind of unless you was in, like, you was in New York somewhere. That's like, this is a buddy around the corner. I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's crazy the way technology has changed. But you mentioned Anagram, and shout out to him. Why don't you let them know, like, some of the groups that you've been a part of, musically, music labels, and that sort of thing?
Yeah. I mean, I've always, I've always got my crew. We liquor store all day. But then me and Anagram, we go back like recliners. That's my man. We go back. And collectively, me and him, when we do something, we ought to overstand this. And we got an album that's long overdue. It's like, J Electronica dropped, and we still ain't dropped. but it's gonna come one day. I promise you.
I love it. Love it.
Now, tell us, share with us about the real Arizona flow. Okay, so you're there. People are seeing you, they're hearing you, and so is it like a new horizon where they're like, wow, you know, he's injecting some flavor in us that we didn't have before, you know, and it's a different flavor, and because of your root, where your root.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely a different flow. I get nothing but positive feedback, but it's a good flow out here. Like I didn't realize until I moved out here, like Arizona is like California. They sound like people from California. They listen to California music. You don't think of this kind of shit when you think of Arizona. You think, at least I didn't. I thought like the Wild West. I didn't think like South Central. You know what I'm saying? But it's really how it is down here. And you know what? We're from Kalamazoo. We kind of got a West Coast kind of vibe to us anyway.
Right.
That's already our jam. So I just kind of just fit here.
That's awesome. That's amazing. So yeah, if you could let us know like some of the stuff you got coming down the pipeline, other than your upcoming Achickwitbeatz collab plug right there. But yeah, what else do you have in the works?
I would say about a couple weeks ago, I dropped a little song called "Ghost of Me." That's that J Electronica Ghost of Focus Slim beat. And I got a couple songs got coming out. I just started making shirts. That's a new thing.
Oh, okay.
That's something I had on the side until I had a hookup where I can actually produce it, but now I do. So now I'm starting to do that. I just got my first shirts in. That's it's called High Fashion Vintage Pop Art. Of course, you know, acronym. It's not gonna be all that, but yes. Yeah. And it's basically the same. We all buy Spencer's. All this we always buy. It's just, you know, I'm thinking of it now.
I never thought about doing that for a shirt collection. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give us more information.
Oh, everything. No. Everything pop-ish. Everything you can think of. I mean, from movies. Like the first one I just did is a picture of Hunter S. Thompson on a motorcycle pointing a gun. See, that kind of, you know what I mean? It's kind of shit you wouldn't even think of, but it's like, it's awesome. Because basically what it was, I woke up one day and I looked in my closet and I had like 30 of these shirts. I was like, I could be making these.
That's amazing. Yeah, and I've recently become a fan of pop art, so yeah, I'm excited to hear this. So yeah,
I'm trying to do something good.
Yeah, I love pop art and I love graphic tees. In my old-ish age, which I don't want to tell, but yeah, I still love graphic tees. So I'm happy to hear that.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
What's your feeling behind the fact that, hey, you know, I see this, I'm going to diversify a bit. Okay, and now you're diversifying, you got that going, and you know, you look back at the other brothers or their other sisters, and they're just in a singular plane, and they're not doing that. And so, you know, your horizon has spread. It's gotten broader with that. So, for the ones that are lagging behind, they're only on a singular plane. I mean, what would you suggest for them?
Man, look, it's simple. At the end of the day, you know, you got to get up, get out, and go get something. It's like, it's real simple. Like, the shit is here. The money's there, and you're here. Go over there. You know what I mean? Go get this cash. It ain't no excuses. It ain't none. And if it is, they have a check for that. If you got a legit reason why your ass ain't at work, that means they sending you a check. So okay, I get it. But if they can't send you a check, then go get this money, man. And when you get this money, don't be a dummy with the money. Like, have a goal and know what you're trying to do. Cause I'm trying to make money that makes me money. You know what I mean? I want to get out of working for months. I'm trying to get to the point where my money just makes me money.
Right.
And that's the whole thing. You get that going, and sky's the limit. Like, I'm not a greedy person. I don't need to be living in a mansion. If I could just make enough where it's exactly what I'm making right now, but I don't go to work. Awesome.
Mm-hmm. Don't be a dummy with the money.
Don't be a dummy with the money. What you doing?
Yes, love it. Absolutely. So, you know, where can the listeners keep in touch with you and what you got going on? Shout out your social media and all the stuff that they need to know to stay plugged in.
Okay. Well, you could you see me get me at an Iron Chef Gut at Instagram, and HFVPA at Instagram. And I forgot to mention, Loving Your Gut Catering is another thing I'm doing.
Okay.
You know what?
Yeah,
go ahead and dip into that. Yeah, we got time.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. Now, part of that time that I was gone not rapping, I turned into a chef.
Okay.
It was one of the things that kind of took my mind off this rap thing. I found something to get into because up to that point, I was always worked at like McDonald's or something. I never worked on the line. And then when I did it, like a fish to water. And I've been doing it since. But, during these times, I'm just trying to tell them, like, you know what? This is some catering. Because everybody's still eating. See what I'm saying? Like, let's get into this catering. And again, I'm trying to get into some where my money can make me some money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I used to go to work. At this point, I used to go to work and I used to count it. I'd be like, Candy, they made about $20,000 in this lunch rush. You know what I mean? And I'm worth like what? A couple hundred today? You know what I mean? And then the rest is theirs and they pocket. But I made all that food. I made $20,000 of food. And I'm going to get like a couple hundred back for the whole day. All right. You feel me?
Yeah.
So, and in catering, it's not the hardest thing to execute if you don't know what you're doing. And if you do know what you're doing, this is like, oh my God, it's like a doctor being a paramedic on the weekend. You understand?
Wow.
Easy money.
Another great analogy.
I try.
Yeah. So, yeah, keep us posted with the others. So you mentioned your Instagram. Give us the rest of your social media. So that way everybody can keep track with you.
Yeah. Like I said, Iron Chef Gut, Instagram, HFVPA at Instagram, Loving Your Gut Catering. That's all at Instagram. I'm there.
Well, I just like to give accolades because it sounds like it's the flow of an empire. Okay, and see, you're getting those different divisions in there. The division over here, division with this, division over that. Okay, and see, that's nothing but good stuff. Coming over the hill, and so I give accolades to you for that because it's like a triple tier, and so everybody doesn't have a triple tier. Okay, some people just barely have one, but because you forged ahead and using those vibes and have established that triple tier, my hat's off to you for that because that's just the beginning of something I think is really, really huge. And so just don't stop. Keep it flowing.
Yeah, no doubt.
Absolutely. So, yeah, we hope to have you back again sometime soon. And we thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey, man, you already know. Anytime.
Awesome.
All right.
Man, it was such a dope interview. Great information that he shared. It was great to hear his story. And, I just really appreciate having his energy on the show.
Well, that's that education factor. One more time. And see, that's hard to beat no matter what's going on. So, that just falls right in line with what we've been doing right here on this show.
Absolutely. And so now we're going to go ahead and dip into the 5 Eternal Minutes with James Eternal.
Okay, welcome to the first edition of the Eternal Minute with James Eternal, aka J. Herb. So today what I wanted to talk about was the reasons most artists in the game are frustrated in disgruntled. I've purposely selected about 5 or 6 of these that I've noticed in my time in the business that are really stumbling blocks and obstacles to artists achieving their goals and moving to the next level in the music industry. So let's just get started. First I have down is the failure to plan is planning to fail. Basically what that means is as an artist, independent artist, you go out and make a song, you go and shoot a video for it, and then you think, okay, now what do I do? How do I promote it? It's almost anticlimactic in a sense because you're thinking, okay, now that I have this great song and this great video, I have to figure out how to promote it and get it to the masses. Okay. Now, what I've learned is, and I've made this mistake before, what I've learned is what you really want to do is you want to set out, want to have a plan before you even execute and go into the studio. So what that basically means is now what I do with my videos and my songs, I promote them for a minimum of 6 months straight. That's right. One song, 6 months worth of promotion. Okay? Otherwise, I feel like it's a waste of time. As artists coming up, we've all done it. So we're all guilty of this. We create a great song, we go out and hurry up, shoot a video, and then we may slap it online somewhere where we think it'll get some views. And then we just let it sit. Or we tell a lot of people, of course, but you know, after that initial rush is gone, in 2 weeks or a month, and we're just kind of, okay, on to the next thing. I think that's a mistake. I think we should maximize our promotion with every project. And before even laying down a track, we need to think to ourselves, okay, what is our goal? We need to set goals, and then not only smaller goals like 6 month goals, but maybe year goals, year and a half, 2 years, okay? That's what it takes to make a song, build a song, and branch it out from there to expand it, okay? So, second point, I call it teach a man or woman to fish. Part of building a strong team is to share the knowledge and being generous with information, okay? So, as a manager, when an artist comes to me, one of two things can happen. I can give them the information, or I can show them how and empower them further along in their career, okay? So, I've had artists come to me to help solve a problem, something maybe even like publishing a song. But what I'd like to do in that case, and part of my responsibility in giving back, is to teach them how to publish. So therefore, in the future, they can continue on publishing on their own and publishing their own songs, learning to license their own songs, so on, et cetera, okay? That's just one example, but of course it just applies in every spectrum pretty much in the music industry, and obviously outside of the music industry as well. Okay, point number 3. People I've run across, and artists in particular, never study those who come before them or the current trends in the industry. Okay? Now, basically, a quick summation of that is, there is a blueprint out there. The thing is, the great thing about what we're doing now, we don't necessarily have to rewrite history. You know, we don't necessarily have to build it from scratch. There is a blueprint out there, and we can look at people who are successful. Now, there may be, because of the technology we have, things may be a little bit different. In my view, things might be a little bit easier. But there are other success stories out there we can look at. And then the last one we're going to touch on is refusal to learn or adapt mindset. Some artists are just so inflexible in their views and what keeps them one step behind, because they don't see the big picture, not willing to adapt to the new realities of the music industry. Okay? So there's a certain way that we might be used to doing a thing, and sometimes things become obsolete, and we have to retrain ourselves, and that means humbling ourselves to take in new information to be able to compete in this new music industry, okay? So those are just a few things. Maybe I'll expound on those later on. For now, I thank you guys for listening. Again, this is Jay Erb. I want to thank Breezy. I want to thank Achickwitbeatz for giving me this opportunity. You'll hear from me soon in the future. If you got any questions or any topics you'd like me to tackle, please get at me at michiganfavartist@gmail.com. That's michiganfavartist@gmail.com. Thanks for your time.
All right, and that was great information. We really appreciate having him on and sharing that wisdom with us and the listeners as well. So, be on the lookout, because we'll have him join us once a month. You can look forward to that.
And that spice that he added came at the right time. I really enjoyed that.
Yes, indeed. Good stuff. All right, and we're going to get back to some more beats by yours truly. are back. So since we always talk about what's happening in the industry, there was one thing that I should have mentioned last week, and it kind of slipped my mind. I'm surprised it slipped my mind because I just found it so mind-blowing at the time. But there was a gentleman that made a song about ripping off the PPP money, and he tried to put a disclaimer at the end of the video saying that everything was props. And, it wasn't actually true, but that wasn't enough to keep the authorities from looking into it. And so now he's been arrested for bragging about stealing money and committing unemployment fraud.
Another case, another example. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, bananas.
Well, that'd be right on the spot. There are so many artists out there that have issues from time to time, and we hear them making public statements about their contract, squeezing them at the neck. They don't want to be in the contract anymore, or a contract is limiting them to this or that, and those kind of things. Well, we've got a service that actually can monitor and review your contract, any contract, before you sign it. So that way, we'll explain all of the great things about the contract before you sign it, as well as the not so great things before you sign it. So if anybody's interested in something like that, give us a shout, because it can turn out to be a really, really big help.
Absolutely. And if you're considering making some music that might not be that beneficial for you, you might want to check into some legal help and see if a YouTube disclaimer will help you out of a situation or not.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we'll get back to some more beats and we'll be back in a bit. helpful tidbit if you're in college or you know someone that is in college, specifically HBCU. 300 Entertainment is offering an opportunity for students to submit to win money, and some of the prizes include the $1,000 one-on-one time with an executive from the label, Amazon cards, and tons of good stuff. So make sure that you let a college student know, and they can give it a shot to win some money and some one-on-one time with a music executive. All right, and we're gonna get back to some more beats. right, and that concludes this week's edition of Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson. We thank you so much for joining us, and we can't wait to do it again next week.
You know what? From the tip to the top, we just are happy about this. So, hey, just tune in, log in, tell your friends, tell your buddies, whomever, and be right back in the spot next time.
Absolutely. All right, till then, peace.
Peace.